Hi, I'm Jill Konieczko, Marketing Manager for Elsevier Funding Solutions, and I'm joined by Eleonora Palmaro, the Funding Institutional Product Manager. It's our pleasure to join you today for Funding Institutional for administrators and editors. And today's presentation is one of two Funding Institutional training videos that are available on this Bright Talk channel. First, we suggest that you view the webinar in full screen mode, which you can do by clicking on the full screen button as it appears in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Let me first begin by introducing my co-presenter, Eleonora Palmaro, the Funding Institutional Product Manager. Eleonora leads the Funding Institutional Product team, and prior to that, was an analyst on Elsevier's data science team, where she developed expertise in bibliometric and scientometric data extraction and analysis. Before joining Elsevier, Eleonora was a research assessment data analyst at the Italian Institute for Technology. Eleonora holds a master's in science and bioengineering from the University of Genoa and a master's in management and business strategy from a business school in Milan.
Hi, I'm Eleonora, and I'd like to introduce my co-presenter, Jill Konieczko, the Marketing Manager for Elsevier's Funding Solutions, which includes Funding Institutional, Expert Lookup, and Elsevier Fingerprint Engine. Jill has extensive experience in the information industry, having worked in training, sales, and marketing at LexisNexis, Dialog, and ProQuest, as well as a librarian and library director for NASA, NOAA, and the EPA within the U.S. government, as well as at news magazine, U.S. News and World Report. Let's get started. Back to you, Jill.
Thanks, Eleonora. Now, today's presentation is specific to the Funding Institutional Administrator and Editor roles, who have elevated privileges for functions such as adding notes, creating, modifying, and deleting internal opportunities, and managing funding institutional user roles within an institution. Research is experiencing a funding crisis. As academic funding wanes or flattens, reliance on external grants is on the increase to help institutions meet their strategic research goals. At the same time, however, research grant funding is also decreasing or flattening. And with the increased funding competition for that same pool of funding, proposal success rates are slow, which means more and more time is being spent developing and submitting proposals that may or may not be funded. With funding becoming increasingly elusive, it's vital to gain that extra edge in a competitive arena. Success depends on an institution's ability to gain insight into the complicated funding landscape, discover hidden opportunities, and make informed decisions with confidence. In order to be successful and maximize grant success rates, institutional staff need to be at the top of their game at every step of the funding workflow. By Elsevier standards, Funding Institutional is a young product released in 2017, but it is used by almost 90 institutions in 15 countries. In our 2019 customer survey, Funding Institutional customers shared that it was a time and effort-saving solution that provided broader access to more funding opportunities. And within Funding Institutional, there are 3 roles with different levels of permissions. Users can search, save, track, and export opportunities. Editors have those same permissions plus elevated permissions to create and manage internal opportunities, as well as add notes available only within the institution to opportunities and funder profiles. Administrators have all the same settings as users and editors, plus permissions to assign or remove users' roles. For example, adding permissions to editors to logins, as well as the ability to provide point of contact information as the administrator within the institution. So now, Eleonora, I'm going to turn it over to you for a live demonstration.
Thanks, Jill. This is the home page of Funding Institutional for editor and admin. The main difference between the home page for editor and admin and the one for viewer is that you will have an editor's menu. While home, search, my funding, the icon which represents the institution you are affiliated to, and the initials are in common with the viewer's home page. You have also in both the home pages the search for opportunities, awards and funders, the last saved searches, the last tracked opportunities, and the recent opportunities. In this demo, I will mainly focus on the functionalities for editor and admin. So I really encourage you to watch the webinar regarding the introduction to Funding Institutional to have a better view of all the functionalities within Funding Institution. Let's start searching for opportunities. I would like to find opportunities in data science. I'm going to add data science between double quotes because this is the way to search for a keyword after the other. I can find 91 funding opportunities, and in this case, I've searched for data science in all fields. I can search also in a specific field, add an extra keyword or key phrase, and combine this keyword and key phrase with a Boolean operator. I can also narrow down the results using some important filters to save time and to make sure that you are eligible for that particular list of opportunities, such as the applicant type or the applicant citizenship. In this case, I have 91 funding opportunities, which I can scroll through the list and see some first metadata, such as the title, the funder, the deadline, and the amount. I'm going to click on one of them. And I see the full details page of this funding opportunity. So I will have also the research discipline, the announcement page, the full description, and the context. You have different call to action track to make sure that you are updated when there are changes regarding that particular opportunity, or if you want to have an alert based on the upcoming deadlines. You can share it with your colleagues using a static link or adding email address, or you can send it to Pure. Pure is an Elsevier solution for research management, which has been integrated with Funding Institutional in March. But let's focus on the right side. You have adding notes for this opportunity. So you can add a structured message to communicate with the users within your institution. So you have a notes title, you have a deadline, an internal contact, additional description, and the addition of files. You can add up to 10 files of different formats. So for example, I can say data science note. I can define a deadline and more than one deadline. I can have an internal contact, and I can add some description based on what needs to be done, for example, for applying to this opportunity. And I can add some extra documentation. When I save it, the note will be visible in the opportunity details page. I can also add a note to the funder of this opportunity. The way to structure the message is quite similar. So you have the internal contact, the description, and you can add up to 10 files of different formats. What is different is that you add a note to the funder instead of to the opportunity. It means that all the opportunities of that funder will have that particular note visible. And that can be particularly useful if, for example, a funder has a common requirement for all the opportunities that they promote. Going back to the results list, I see that I've added a note already from the results list thanks to the icon. If I want to check all the notes that I have created, I can visit the editor's menu where I have the notes. In particular, I have opportunity notes and funder notes. And for the opportunity notes and both the funder notes, I can edit it and I can delete it. In the editor's menu, as an editor and an admin, you can also create internal opportunities. opportunities which are funded by the institution itself and which are visible just within your institution. So if we visit the internal opportunities section, we can create a new internal opportunity. For example, I want to create an opportunity regarding COVID-19. I can define the opportunity type. I can add a description regarding the coronavirus research. And now, because I haven't added all the mandatory metadata, you see that it's possible just to save these internal opportunities as a draft. But this becomes useful when you want to save the partial information that you have already, but then you want to edit the internal opportunity later on. So we can go back, edit the internal opportunity, and complete the information required. So for example, the research discipline, it's in chemistry. I will choose a date. I will choose a type of deadline. I can define an amount with a currency. We cover, because it's an internal opportunity, so we cover all the currency possible. I'm going to select US dollar. We have eligibility criteria section if there is any, and then you will have a point of contact and the email address. And now it's possible to publish and make it active. So if we go back to the search menu, it's possible now to search for internal opportunity. And the search for internal opportunity is also possible for the viewer. So the viewer can save time because in a single solution, they have both external and internal opportunities. And they can search for them while they type, for example, a keyword, or they can find it directly filtered on internal opportunities. So here, the internal opportunity is recognizable also from the icon. So editors and admins can create content. And in the context of funding institutional, content is notes and internal opportunities. If you are an admin, you will have in the menu with your initials another link to roles. And with this link, you can search for the users within your institution by email, and you can assign roles. So you can search your user and define admin or editor or remove a role, for example. And you will have, so I can remove a role, for example, and you will have the admins and the editors in two different sections. I really recommend that you have at least one admin within the institution. So please contact your sales contact person if you don't have any admin within your institution. While you can create as many as admins and editors as possible. While you can have just one single administration contact person. So here you can define your contact person and can be just one profile. These are the main functionalities and the functionalities of editors, admins, and specifically of the admins. If we want to search for words, it's possible to search for words, and this view is in common to viewer, editor, and admin. So you can search for words, for example, in data science to perform the same search that you have done for opportunities, also for a word. So you can understand the landscape before applying and searching for funding opportunities. So you can understand, for example, which are the funders which are maybe active in data science. You can visit the profile page of this funder or the website of this funder. Going back to the infographics and going back to the search. We can also search for funders. So here you have the full list of funders in funding institutional with the number of opportunities active at the moment for that particular funder and the number of awards covered for that particular funder. If you don't find a funder you would like to see in the product, please contact us using the feedback message here. So you can click on feedback, you can click on, we are constantly adding more funding bodies, and you can contact us. And when you contact us, you will have this form already pre-filled where you can ask for the addition of a funder, and we reply to you to give you a feedback if that specific funder is eligible for funding institution. This is the demo for editors and admins, and now back to you, Jill.
Thanks, Eleonora. Now, throughout 2020, we'll continue to add improvements, many of them at customers' request, to support institutions' research funding discovery. In February, we offered many enhancements to the awards data, including deepening the content by adding data back to 1965, which raised the total as of today to over 6.5 million grants. We also added a new funder country filter and provided awards data visualization to offer at-a-glance insights such as funding trends by discipline, funder, and year. Throughout the year, we'll continue to increase funding data coverage and quality. To offer reliability, funding institutional must be comprehensive, complete, and correct. In March, funding institutional was integrated with Pure, Elsevier's research management tool, to enable exporting opportunities from funding institutional to Pure. And in the next few months, we'll be adding many new features, including an enhanced search discovery interface, filters to help you identify the location where the research must be conducted, filters by language, and support to offer recommended opportunities for researcher teams. You can learn more about these releases and our future roadmap by visiting the link shown on the screen. Now, in addition to welcoming your request for new features, we're eager to receive recommendations for additional funders, and we have a special email address through which you can send us your suggestions. For your reference, I've also provided a link to the Elsevier funding content scope and selection procedure. So this concludes our presentation, Funding Institutional for Administrators and Editors. For more information on searching Funding Institutional, as well as saving searches, tracking, exporting, and sharing opportunities, please see Introduction to Funding Institutional, which is also available on this Bright Talk channel. So on behalf of my co-presenter, thank you for joining us for Funding Institutional for Administrators and Editors. We hope that we presented information to help make your funding institutional use more efficient, effective, and fruitful. Thank you.